topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning, Florida. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show where we bring you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. This first show today, is one of the shows that we wanted not just to run once a month like we do our 50 other shows, but we wanted to run twice because it's so important. The information that is provided is so important, and we get so many people text us during the show, and our expert is so well trusted. The name of the company is Provise Management Group, and they're with us twice a month, and we actually start off just in the Tampa area, and the show became so big we are now throughout the state of Florida. Let me welcome you to Ray Ferrara. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Steve, and it's a beautiful day here in sunny Tampa, Florida today.
Well, and I'll do this at the end of the show too, but our next show won't be until next year, so we definitely want to wish you a happy holiday and a happy new year. Your show, Ray, is so important to us, and we are so blessed to have you because your knowledge is just amazing in the money management world.
Well, Steve, thank you very much. Provise Management Group is almost a 38-year-old firm. And actually, we are 38 years old. I shouldn't say almost. We are 38 years old. And it's a financial planning firm first and foremost, because we view investment management, estate planning, retirement planning, education planning, all of those things, a subset of the financial plan itself. And it's kind of our distinguishing feature. A lot of people call themselves financial planners, but all they do is try to gather assets and invest money. We want to have a much more intimate relationship than just managing money with our clients. And we always offer a 1-hour complimentary consultation in our Tampa or Clearwater office. And for those that are outside of the area, certainly by Zoom. So if you enjoy what you're going to hear today or any of our other shows in the past, please be sure to give us a call at 727-441-9022, 727-441-9022. And if you want to learn a little bit about us before you call, don't hesitate to go to provise.com. That's PROVISE.com.
Hey, Ray, I wanted to mention this because your show also appears on YouTube. And the other day I was looking at one of your shows and it had gone up by 17 views, which means there's a lot of people who go back later on to watch your show, or they're going to do a search on your show. But you have clients all over the country, which means those are referrals.
So we do have clients scattered throughout the United States. We're in over 30 states, serving about 1,100 families and managing somewhere around $2 billion of money on their behalf. And unlike a lot of firms, we do not have a minimum asset size. We do have a minimum fee size of $3,000 per year. and that includes the investment management and the financial planning, which we hope at $250 a month, we can more than justify the work and the help that we can give most people. In fact, usually in the first couple of years, we're able to easily justify the fee through different savings that we'll be able to bring in addition to money management. Excuse me.
You know, Ray, I was thinking about you last week when I was saying about crypto, how much it's gone up. And I know you're not big on cryptocurrency, but are you ready to change your mind given the fact that Bitcoin is now breaking $100,000?
And actually crossed $106,000 yesterday. The answer is no.
Okay.
Throughout history, gold has kind of been the stable value of wealth. And there was this thing called fool's gold. Well,
I remember that.
Cryptocurrency is fool's gold. It produces nothing. It doesn't make anything. It doesn't provide any service. It doesn't have a dividend. It doesn't pay interest. It's just, Steve, if I can convince you at $106,000 to be a greater fool than I was when I bought it at $100,000, then that's how it goes up. And at some point, it's something that has gone up as fast as cryptocurrency is going to drop just as fast. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose money because right now, excuse me, right now the mania is it can only go up because there's a limited supply. Yes, it's true there's a limited supply, but you got to have people who are willing to buy it. And right now they're there, but eventually they won't be. In spite of the fact that everybody is excited about the cryptocurrency because of the president-elect and his appeal towards cryptocurrency, that euphoria is going to end, and it's not going to end in a good way, in our opinion. So no, I haven't changed my mind on cryptocurrency. I'm just old-fashioned vanilla. And I like to invest in things I can touch, I can feel, things that I understand, not things that I don't.
You know what, Ray? It's really it's funny. Because I really do a lot of search on the internet with a show like this, and I am seeing more and more law firms pop up that are promoting themselves as going after people who've been scammed by Bitcoin. And I was shocked about all the law firms that are promoting this now.
Well, anytime something is as popular in the investment world as Bitcoin has become, there are going to be people who are going to do the wrong thing and try to scam people out of their money. And when that happens, unfortunately, most of the time, those people don't get caught. It is hard to sue people that you can't find, but that doesn't keep the law firms from trying to find reasons to sue people. Maybe it's Steve, you're our client and we buy some Bitcoin for you because unlike us, this other firm, imaginary firm, thinks that maybe it's a good investment. And then as soon as it goes down and gets clobbered, and let's say that you're a retired individual who has a relatively low risk tolerance level, that's when you're going to see the lawyers come out to start to sue people for putting the wrong people into what is a very speculative, risky, and unproven investment. It's okay if you want to own a little bit of Bitcoin. I get it if you just feel like you need to, but you got to think of it as Las Vegas money. It's just money that you just don't need in your life. And if you make something on it, fine. And if you lose it all, well, you're not happy about it, but you can afford it.
Exactly.
But people need to be very Bitcoin right now.
Well, Ray, the market's up a lot this year. Is there still time for a Santa Claus rally?
Well, I would hope so, although I don't really want to see the market go up very much, Steve, the next couple of weeks. I know that sounds a little crazy, but the fact is that whatever growth we have in the market over the next 2 weeks are really going to steal from the growth of next year. And at the present time, we're looking at something in the mid to upper single digits for next year, with the market having probably going to finish over 25% this year, which means that will have happened 2 years in a row. And it's rare for it to have two back-to-back years like this. It did happen back in the 96, 97, 98 timeframe, just before the dot-com bust. And I'm not projecting dot-com busts again.
Seems like we're having a little. We apologize.
Next year. In fact, what we would anticipate was, I realize my internet is messing up this morning. Well, hopefully I'm back, Steve.
Okay, we hear you fine now. We just got
very frustrating when the internet's not working properly.
I know.
Technology is great.
Listen, I've watched Fox TV before and they freeze. So even the huge ones do the same thing. Are you back there?
Well, yeah, I am, Steve. You know, it's funny you mentioned Fox News. It froze up yesterday during the Bucks game on numerous occasions. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, but look at all the cameras they have and all the technology they have.
Yeah. Back to the Santa Claus rally. We would just as soon see the market stay right where it is. I would much rather tell you as a client that this time next year that the market is up 8%, 9%, than tell you that it's up 1 or 2%. And that's what we really fear in a Santa Claus rally. But it is traditional during the last week of the year and the first week of the new year that the market does move in a positive direction. And it usually comes from people reprogramming their portfolio and rebalancing their portfolio.
We just got a text from Craig in Orlando. Ray, I love your show. I don't miss one. It's like my money management Bible. Do you see a big correction above the horizon coming up?
Well, let's define a correction. A correction in the stock market is a decline in the market of 10% or more. 20% is considered a bear market barometer. So a big correction would be something that was down 15 to 19%. And could that happen? The answer is yes, it could happen. When you have a market that's selling as high as the current market is, it's not out of the realm of possibility that a correction will occur, and it could be, as you ask, a big one. But what I will say to you is I don't see a recession on the horizon at the moment. We had positive growth in the third quarter. They're projecting an even stronger fourth quarter. You'd have to have 2 quarters in a row to have negative growth to be called a recession. In this case, I would say to you, a correction is a normal part of a healthy bear market. It takes the money away from the weak hands and puts it into the hands of the strong. So don't be trying to time the market. Don't be trying to guess when it's going to go down. It doesn't work that way. It's not healthy for you to be doing that. Just stay the course, because I do believe that the markets will be higher a year from now than they are today, albeit not a lot, but do believe that they'll be higher regardless of what happens in between. And Steve, on numerous occasions, I've shared the anecdote of the stock market is like an investor walking up a flight of stairs with a yo-yo. And we all watch the yo-yo going up and down and up and down, when in fact we lose sight of the investor walking up the flight of stairs. So hang in there. As I say, a correction is a normal part of a healthy bull market.
Staying with the theme of next year, what will it take for the market rally to continue?
So in our mind, it is all about earnings. Right now, companies' earnings this year are up about 11%, which is very good. But the market's up 27% through last Friday. So that means that 16% of the gain that we've had this year has come through market expansion, not from earnings. And it's projected that earnings will go up 19% next year. First of all, we believe that that's a little optimistic relative to earnings. But even if that were to occur, that would simply mean that it's one of the reasons we're not looking for a lot of gain next year, is we're looking for the earnings to catch up to the growth that's already occurred in the market. So the rally can continue. One of the good things that we've seen the last several months that was quite different than earlier in the year, the Magnificent Seven were what drove the market during the first part of the year, and 493 others, went along, but they were not growing anywhere near the Magnificent Seven. Over the last 3 months or so, the Magnificent Seven have not gone up as much as the market has gone up, and that's a good thing. That means the market is broadening. And that breadth is a good thing to see others participating. And it's those that are really creating the earnings that are the real earnings today, not the potential future earnings, that is going to continue to support the market. So it will all be about good earnings. Certainly, there's always the hype that can occur in a single company or perhaps even in a single sector. But at the end of the day, it's all about earnings that really determine what the market price of a stock is going to be and whether it's too high or too low. And, today, as an example, healthcare stocks have been beaten up this past year. They're anticipated to be beaten up again next year because of the potential appointment of Bobby Kennedy Jr. To Secretary of Human Services. And that, in our mind, is perhaps creating an opportunity to see good companies being driven down because of what may happen in that part of the government. And if it is a bad year for healthcare is too important to our economy that it will bounce back, and it would be a great time to think about investing in the healthcare industries at that point, not running away from it.
Stacy in St. Pete wants to know if you ever do seminars.
We do not do seminars, Stacy. I will tell you that way back in the early days of Provise, we did do seminars. And I got to tell a personal story. The first time we did a seminar, it was at lunch. And I was a novice at doing seminars, being the first time. And so we had everybody come at 11:30. We served lunch, and we were going to do the presentation after lunch. And I can't begin to tell you the number of people who, after lunch was over, excused themselves to go to the bathroom, but never came back.
Oh my gosh!
and then the others who brought large bags with them to take the rolls off the table and put them into them and take them home. So our first and only luncheon seminar was the last one we did, and in fact our tagline in the seminars that we continue to do, which were at 10 o'clock in the morning or at 1:30 in the afternoon, is "There's no such thing as a free lunch." We haven't done seminars now for maybe almost 20 years. What we do, however, is a lot of work through our website, where we have a lot of information that is there. And let me remind everybody, Steve, once again, the best seminar is the one that's one-on-one, by either visiting with us in our Clearwater or Tampa office for a 1-hour complimentary consultation, or to do it by Zoom. Then we can specifically address the conversation as it relates to whatever is important to you, as opposed to a large group of people. So long answer to a simple question. I could have just said, no, we don't do seminars, but I had to tell that story because it is so funny about all the people who left and never came back.
Ray, we've got a couple minutes left. Tell people out there why they should use your firm.
Steve, obviously I am very prejudiced.
You should be.
About that, but I'm also very proud. We have been an SEC registered investment advisor since the late 80s, which means we've been acting as a fiduciary, which requires us to always put our clients' interests ahead of our own, now for about 36 years, almost since the creation of Provise. That is one reason. The second reason is competence. We have 14 fantastic advisors on our staff. Virtually all of them have a certified financial planner designation, which is, in my mind, the highest designation that there is within our industry. All the rest pale in comparison because of the rigor that it takes to achieve the designation. And I guess, everybody asks us, well, what's your track record? And the track record I always like to talk about is the number of people that stay with us year after year after year. We don't lose much more than 3% of the people who do business with us. That includes people who died, people who moved away and want to work with somebody else, somebody whose son or daughter got into the business and now they're going to move to them. And if we weren't doing a good job, and if people were not satisfied over a 38-year period of time in the work that we do, they'd be leaving much, much faster and looking for another place to go. So hopefully people will give the office a call at 727-441-9022, 727-441-9022 to set up that complimentary 1-hour consultation. And Steve, I know we're getting ready to wrap it up, so I want to wish you and yours and all of our listeners the happiest of holiday seasons. It's a festive time. It's an exciting time getting ready to head into the new year. And I'll look forward to being with you right after the new year starts.
Can't wait. Have a happy new year, Ray, and we love you. We're so glad we have you, and we'll see you next month.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That's Ray Ferrara, Provise Money Management. We're going to go to a short break. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.